What's going on, guys? It's FaZe Simp here, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about our Stage 5 Week 1 matches, how they went, kind of what our plan was, and what we're kind of thinking about doing for our next two matches and who we're playing, so let's get into it. So our first match of Stage 5 was actually the first match of Stage 5 in general. We kicked things off on July 8th against the Ravens, and personally, this was a series that we were super comfortable going into because, you know, we're basically the top, and they're basically at the bottom right now, so this was just a match that we were just trying to be comfortable in and just make sure that we're working on the maps that we're not the best at. So for this match against London, we actually ended up letting Standoff and Checkmate Hardpoint through. And this is just because some of the maps we're working on and just trying to expand our map pool as best as we can, because for champs, it's going to be super important for all the series to be able to play any map that we can. You know, if you don't want to have an auto veto, you want to be able to veto the other team's best map so that you're not worried about them taking over and doing their thing, just matter of you playing your game and being better than them. So we actually ended up playing Checkmate Hardpoint first against London, and this was a map that we're not the most comfortable on, but it's also not one of our bad maps. And we decided to let this through against London because this is one of their better maps, and with first seed guaranteed for champs and everything, we're just doing our best to improve our map pool, and this is one of those times, you know. London's really good at Checkmate, it's one of their better hardpoints, so we played against them. It was a really back and forth game, in my opinion. We ended up clutching up at the end, 250-188, and I think we won off of P2 or P3. I think it was a P2 ending because I think they trolled and flipped on the P1. But yeah, it was a super close map 1. It definitely taught us a little bit more than we already knew about the map and kind of what we got to do. But, you know, it's all about the improvement and getting ready for champs. So the second map we played against London was Standoff S&D. And now this is a map that we're not the best at, but we're also not the worst at. And right now, it's all just about the improvement and the reps and matches, and just trying to make sure we're figuring it out while we can, and not trying to figure it out during the most important tournament of the year. But I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure we started smoking them at the beginning, and then they started coming back. I think they won 2 or 3 straight. It became a little close at the end, but we ended up winning 6-4, and that was a huge win for us on standoff because the more wins we get on it, the more likely we're going to be more comfortable on it. So super big win for us overall on that map. And it puts us 2-0 up over London, which is really good for us because we're a really good control team, and I think it's really hard for teams to beat us in control right now. Going to the control, we're heading into Garrison, and this is a map that we're super comfortable on. We usually only play this or Raid, just because I think a lot of teams are good at checkmate control, and it's probably our worst, if anything, out of the 3. So we just veto it and, you know, just take our chances with the other 2 maps because of how good we are on them. And yeah, I mean, I think we took over. We probably won an offense off the rip, if I were to assume. And I think it was just a smoke show. We ended up winning 3-1, and we took the series 3 over London. And this is super good, the standings, just because, you know, the first week was our less harder matches, I guess you could say. So being able to win this one 3-0 is super good going into the next week. But this week's not over yet. We still have the match versus Paris. So after beating London 3-0, we didn't have to play until Saturday. So we had a whole day off on Friday just to play whoever and get scrims and whatnot. But on Saturday, we ended up playing Paris. And this was another match we felt super comfortable with just because of the standings and where both of us are and just kind of how our teams are. But, yeah, this was a series where, you know, like I said for the London one, we're still trying to expand our map pool and kind of just do the best to make sure we're prepared for champs. So, in this match, we ended up letting through Miami S&D. That's probably the biggest map we tried in this series, just because the searches are super important. You know, there's 4 of them in the best of 9. So, as long as we're winning most of our searches and being comfortable on them, I think we're going to have a super good chance of winning any tournament we play. But yeah, first map of the Paris Legion match was Garrison Hardpoint, and this was a map that we came out with the fire. We were having bad on this map. I'm pretty sure, I don't know who was frying. I think I was frying at the beginning, and then I kind of slowed down. But I think we just started trolling. It's what we usually do. I feel like, you know, we had a big lead. And then we kind of just start playing down to our competition and kind of start getting a little lazy in the matches. And teams can start rotating and chaining 2-3 hills together, and it'll get a little sketchy for us. But, I mean, I think we're always in control for the most part. Just because we know the situation, we know how we have to play, and as soon as we see like how it's going, I think we all kind of realize that we need to just start doing what we need to do and take over again. So yeah, even though we started out with the fire map one, we ended up winning 250 to 204, and it definitely could have been a blowout, but we kind of gave them the opening to come back, and they did. So thank God we still won it, and we're up 1-0. So second map of our Paris Legion series was Miami S&D, and now this is a map that we haven't played in quite some time because it's been our auto veto. But now we're at a point where we can't really have an auto veto, and we gotta expand our map pool. So we're still, you know, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but we're just worried about our map pool and getting the reps on the maps and matches. So went in Miami S&D confident just because we've been practicing it a lot. And I'm not gonna lie, this was a little bit of a speed run of a map. But yeah, Miami S&D, we kind of just did what we've been working on, and it was just working. I mean, we were getting a lot of first bloods, I think, and I think they just weren't playing that well together. They were kind of, you know, giving us numbers and situations and not really playing their lives as heavily as they can. So we ended up just winning that map 6-0. It wasn't really that close. If anything, there was one round I think they should have won where Cell clutched up on. But besides that, I feel like we were in total control of that Miami S&D, and I don't think they really stood a chance. So the next map in our Paris Legion series is Raid Control, and this is another control we're super comfortable on, because most of the time, or not most of the time, but I think early in the year teams are deciding to play us on Raid over Garrison, and so we have a whole lot of Raid, just a lot of Raids played, a lot of Raid Control played, so we know a lot of the situations, we know how a lot of these teams play, and we're just really good at working together, using our teamwork, and just putting people in demon traps. This one wasn't that close either. Like I said, the rest of the series was kind of a bloodbath. I think we won double offenses, and we just ended up 3-0ing them in the control. I don't think there was anything that stands out, really. I think MC was having them, if I remember, because I think he had like a 1 point. I think he had like a 2.0 this series. That guy's disgusting. But yeah, an absolute smoke show of the control. 3-0'd him in the control, 3-0'd him in the series, and ended the week 2-0, which is really good for us, because next week is going to be a difficult week for us. So for week 2 of stage 5, we actually have probably 2 of the most important matches of our group stage this week, and that's because it's, you know, the top. Now that we're at the top teams of our pool, we got to win all these. Just make sure we have the head-to-head win for the seeding, and just overall, just having these dubs over these teams is really good for confidence. So the 2 teams we'll be playing are going to be LA Thieves and Optic, which is matches that I'm excited for, because I love playing top tier teams, just because it's always fun, you know, go head to head, and you know, it always comes down to like a couple plays for the most part, which is really exciting, I think, as a COD fan and player. But yeah, so on Friday we play the Thieves. We're the second match of the day, and for this match, I think we're gonna be super confident. I think we've had their number all year for the most part. I know it's a different roster, which it basically always is, but we're still going to play our game. We're not going to try and do anything crazy with them. And yeah, just going to try and come out and fry. So for our last match of week 2, we play Optic on Sunday. And now this is a match that I'm sure everyone's going to be looking forward to, because everyone loves when we play Optic and Optic plays us. Just because of the names and the skill involved and everything. You know, Optics, those guys are legends, man, for the most part. So playing them is just super fun always, and I'm sure it's going to be a good series. But, you know, the boys are super confident going into it. We're not worried too much with first seed guaranteed. Even if we do drop one of these matches, I don't think it's going to be the end of the world. If we do drop one, it's going to come down to our match against New York for winners, I think. But I'm not sure, because New York's already down 0-2, so I think if they lose another game, we're pretty much guaranteed top 3 in our group. But still, we're gonna go as hard as we can and just try and 3-0 these teams and just have the confidence for the major. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed my breakdown a little bit of our matches of this week and next week. If you did, I'd appreciate if you dropped a like on the video. If you're new here, make sure you sub to the channel. I really much appreciate it. And just share the video, you know, drop a like, tweet it out, send it to your mom, I don't care. But I thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next one. Peace.